So once you do a CMA, a lot of people ask, how do you adjust for upgrades, updates, anything like that to get more in line with what you think the true value is or what the appraiser may give you for values? So I'm going to show you a couple different ways, a couple different tools that are out there so we can look at that and kind of show you some of those values. An easy way to do it, once you have your MLS open, this is for San Antonio Board of Realtors, or LARs, whatever they're calling themselves now. If you go here to the bottom and you go down here under Tools, go to Courthouse Retrieval, and when it opens up, you're going to pull a Hope property up, which I'm just going to grab this one at the top, just so you can type in any property. And then you go to Comparables, Quick CMA. It's going to give you some values. Now, if I wanted to add to this value, say right now, without me doing any of the cleaning and going in the same stuff, it's right around 289. Say they did a whole bunch of updates. If you expand this, I can add up to 3 updates at a time. So the first one, I might want to say they did I don't know, let's say they did a major kitchen remodel and they spent $25,000 on this major kitchen remodel and they had high finishes. You hit submit. With that major kitchen remodel where $25,000 gave them $8,750 in value. And now you can see right here, it gives you this different value on the second line. And then here's the original, here's the second one. Again, if I add another one, let's say I wanted to add I don't know, a window replacement vinyl window, and it's a high, and they're going to spend $10,000. And then I submit that. See, it increased $7,100, and that adds to this value right here. So now we're at 289. Now we're at 310 because of those updates. So this, again, you can do the top 3 updates that were done in the home. I don't let you do 3 at a time, which is annoying. But I'm trying if there's no other way to add another improvement. So you can do up to 3 there. Now, if you're not sure what else to look at for your upgrades, I'm going to give you this sheet here. So here is a good sheet here you can look at. So what this does here, it breaks it down. So like, for example, if it's power lines or a golf course, size, this breaks everything down. Let's say they did a pool deck. So if it's between $100,000 to $200,000 home, this is how much you can add, between 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 500 plus. So again, that's all they're going to get. And then I don't know why this is error. I apologize on that one. But then a lot of trees, usually for larger lots, these can add value. Major, if you're near a major roadway, solar panels, if they're paid off, what most people are going to tell you. And then again, if you want to do square feet, so the difference in square foot multiplied by the comps, and divided by multiples of 35, which is your gross living area adjustment. That's another video where we talk about how to adjust comps like an appraiser using that sheet to gross living adjustment. But this just shows you your updates, and then this form gives you a little bit more. Now again, I base this on just 10,000 upgrade. So if you do a mid-level or high level, it would show 10,000. Of course, this is the same for both. But for example, here for bathroom addition, if it's a mid-level, it brings you, even if you spend 10,000 on both, it brings you 5,200, where a high end is 3,700, which is kind of interesting that some of the high ends don't give you as much value. Like the bathroom, just a regular bathroom gives you more value instead of a really fancy high-end bathroom, because you apply to more, reach out to more buyers. Most of them are pretty close. Like a major kitchen remodel, the high-end finishes is going to give you 3,500. A minor kitchen remodel, it gives you 100, a little bit better than a major kitchen. I don't know how they get their numbers. That's just what the math says from the sites. And then again, solar panels, it can raise the value up about $2,900. You put 10,000, it's 29% of whatever you're going to put. These are just examples you can use. This sheet here that I showed you before is actually sent from an appraiser, and this is something they use. And then we went over this other one. Let me show you this other one real quick. We'll do simplified. And what this form is right here. So if I get the right form, sorry. There it is. This is another video. We showed you how to adjust comps in square feet. When you go through here, this is what they're talking about, the gross living area of 35%. So if you go here and it says the difference in square foot multiplied by comps sold, then multiplied by 35, all that means is to follow this sheet, and it tells you to add or take away the values. So these first two, you would add these to the comp, and the third one you would subtract in, because the square feet of this comp is less than the subject property, so you have to add value. But the third comp, the square feet is more than the subject properties, you have to take value away. That's what they're talking about here when they talk about that. The rest is straightforward. You just add if they've done any of those updates. Now remember, this can't be 10 years old. It has to be like in the last year or so. You have to make sure that it's nice and updated and looks good. If it's a 20-year-old update, that's not going to count. Use a little common sense. And then you can kind of look at these sheets. These sheets will be linked in at the bottom, so you can pull them in and kind of look at it that way. Hopefully that gives you some ideas when you're talking to your clients and you're doing a listing presentation of how to adjust for comps.